All right.
Here we go.
Okay. So our first podcast.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Me too. Like we've talked about this several times, but
it's finally here.
It's finally here. And like I've said this before, but if I were to sit and just be doing a podcast and you and I were just sitting here bullshitting or having a little conversation, that'd be one thing. But to have like the cameras and feel like you're on, I'm guessing the probably first couple are going to be a little bit more awkward for sure. And then hopefully everything smooths out. So, but I'm excited for it.
Me too. So everyone can see how quirky we are together.
Gosh. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad.
I think good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that when people come in, even off of our social media, people are like, I feel like I know you, or you guys made me laugh, or whatever.
And I love that.
Me too. That's honestly, that's like my best compliment. Because that's just me being our stupid selves and thinking we're funny. So if you think we're funny too, then great.
I know. Yeah.
So, but I kind of was thinking in this first episode, we talk about us and introduce ourselves and what we're expecting out of the podcast.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I will start. So I'm Stephanie, and I have been working with Mountain West Medical, I think about 7 or 8 years. Prior to that, I worked at a dermatology office, and I worked there for about 10 years. I started off as a medical assistant at the derm office that I worked at for 10 years, and then over to Mountain West. So that's what I am. People think that I'm an esthetician. I'm not an esthetician. I don't play one on TV. I'm not an esthetician. But I am a medical assistant and have been in the skin industry for a while. So I love my job. Mm-hmm. I love Dr. John, even though I don't like to tell him that too much. And I love Sam. So I'm glad that
we found each other.
We're like little besties. And if you follow us on social media, you see all of our tags that we do with each other of working with our work bestie stuff. So,
and it's literally just like that too.
Yeah.
Like we're not trying to pretend or play it up for social media. Like we literally do all of those things and more.
Yeah. So. Much more. And we do like each other. We honestly do. And we hang out outside of work. We're friends. Yeah. My daughters babysit her children. I have 3 kids. My son is 23, and my daughters are about to turn 15 and 12.
Crazy.
And so my girls are definitely a part of the family with Sam. They see her probably after or like outside of work more than I do, because they come and hang out at your house more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of a little summary of our friendship and me. What about you, Sam?
Well, so I've been with Mountain West since 2021. It's actually a really funny story. I knew Dr. John from over 10 years ago, when I started as a nurse at St. Luke's right out of college. And so when we moved back to from Hawaii, back to Idaho in 2020, I started back up at my old dental practice, which was McCrae Dental. So I went in to get something done dental wise, and he came in and he's like, "Hey, how would you like to work for me?" So basically that's how it started. And
man, has it been a roller coaster.
It's been really fun.
And when you first started, you found out you were pregnant like not too long after.
Yeah.
And so that was a surprise.
That was a hard conversation. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And then you ended up leaving for a little while. So it was like you started and then you went on maternity leave.
Yeah.
So we had a little break. It was a nice break from Sam, actually.
Okay. Yeah. She missed me too much. And then we had Ethan. So now he's like amazing. It's been fun and hard to add a third kid and a boy. So it's been good though. Mm-hmm. I never thought that I would do something like this. You know, there's so much.
You mean like from starting like in nursing to doing what you're doing now?
So there's just so many different things that you can do with nursing. And I always had been trying to find my niche, trying to find something that I love. And I hadn't found that yet. So it was nice to kind of have that opportunity to try it out.
And it fell in your lap.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to find a new job. I wasn't trying to get into this. But it's actually worked out really well. And I'm actually like happy to go to work and I don't take things home
Isn't that
with
true?
me.
Like, I honestly say this, and I say it a lot, and I mean it. I love my job. Like, there's days I don't want to go to work just because I'm tired or lazy or have other things I want to do. But when I'm there, I love my job, and I do like to go for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
and I go on my days off.
Yeah, she does. So she works Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah.
And then like we all occasionally do some Fridays and weekends, but she has Mondays off. That's her day off. And so anyway, she'll pop in almost every Monday. And I feel like you work on Mondays, even though she's not working. She's coming and doing a treat with me or singing or doing something else. So anyway,
at the dental side
that's
or whatever.
That's how much she likes her job. She's coming in on her days off.
I know, and I don't mind it,
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I get to see everybody, but not have to work, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring the kids
and come
in.
And go as you please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wear what
she'll
I
bring the
want.
kids in. I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been fun. It's been a good change. I got really burnt out when 2020 hit in the hospital.
I bet.
And I've always had really hard jobs, in the hospital. So this is
wiping a lot of asses.
Nice. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The things that I've seen, the smells that I've smelled, I don't miss it at all.
I think the only smells we have at the office are burning hair.
Oh yeah. I can smell
hair
that
laser
for sure.
I smell that all the time. And sometimes burning skin with some skin treatments.
Yeah.
Other than that, it smells like lavender in my room and, nice things. So you don't have to deal with the other smells that you used to have.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Exactly. I don't miss that.
Yeah. And kids.
Mm-hmm. I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old. I have a 6-year-old, and then I have my youngest who is 2, and that was our first boy. So it's been an adjustment, but our family's complete, and it's only going to get better.
So. The third was our surprise too, and I'm sure you feel this way, and I'm sure everybody does, but it truly is like, oh, a surprise. Okay, how are we going to do this? How's this going to work? And then like, how could this ever be any different?
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine my life without the third.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes my middle one, who we did try for, likes to tell my third one, she didn't really try for you. She was trying for us or trying for me. So I hear that sometimes. I've heard that a couple times. And she's not wrong. It's true.
Yeah.
But she likes to remind her of that. So I think that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our first was a surprise, actually. We were pretty newly married. We were planning our next trip, and we had fun at a reggae concert one night.
I'm sure.
And she came, and you're never really ready for a baby, but it was perfect, and she's perfect. And we tried actually really hard for our second one.
That's how kind of we were.
It took a long time, surprisingly. I never really thought about that because our first was so unexpected. We weren't trying. We were preventing, and it still happened. And so after trying for so long with our second, and then we had her, and then she has rocked our world ever since. That middle child, fashionista,
sass,
ball of fire. Yeah, she keeps us on our toes, but it's just funny how that works. I think, God is like, okay, you wanted her. Here you go.
Now deal with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was with my husband and I. We got pregnant very early on. We had our son, which is why he's 23, and our daughters are 9 and 11 years apart from him. And when we had him, we were younger. It was just starting out. We were like good with just the one. He has 2 previous children from before. And so we were kind of settled into that. And then we wanted to try for our second one, and then it took a while. So then the third one was a complete surprise. But yeah, that's kind of the same scenario where that happened. But yeah. Yeah. And your middle child is definitely fun. She keeps you, she's adorable. They're all adorable.
Yeah.
But so this is a cute little story about her middle child. Her name is Ella. Mm-hmm. I had them come in. Well, she came in on a day off. She came in on a Monday, and we did some video for social media with her daughters. And we were leaving and walking downstairs, and I said, "Thank you so much, girls, for doing that video. You guys did such a good job. Thank you for doing that for me." And Ella, who is 5,
she's 6.
She's 6. Says, "I hope I don't look old."
She was so excited. She wanted to see the video. Mm-hmm. She's like, "I want to see it when it's done." And she, Steph assured her that I would show her. Uh-huh. And she's like, "Oh, I hope I don't look old." And we're just like, oh my goodness, Ella.
Yeah. And that explains Ella right there.
Yes,
that
it
is
does.
Her.
We have Ella-isms for sure. Mm-hmm. We like to quote her, and she's definitely a spirit animal to the feistiest people. She's gonna make a great lawyer or executive someday.
She will.
Yeah,
she will. Which kind of too, I was thinking, like, talking about our family with the podcast. My thought, and I think Sam too, is just bringing in the fact that we're working moms. Mm-hmm. We're doing things that we love, and we want to be able to talk about our job, but also our family life. We're all out here doing the same thing pretty much, trying to make it work the best that we can, doing whatever it is that we're doing.
Running on fumes and coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee. Okay, so one of my things about this podcast that I really was interested in, we came up with all these ideas of like what we want to bring on this, what we want people to gain out of this. And I really like, and I've been a big, especially I would say more so since COVID hit, 2020, when we started doing like local stuff, supporting local. That became like a thing for me during that time more than any. So anyway, in this podcast, I wanted to talk about things that we purchase locally, whether it's coffee or getting our hair done, our nails done, or whatever it is. So I wanted to really give shout outs to people and talk about their product and let them know that we are supporting you and that we're big about that. So one of the things I did today was go to Coffee and Supply Company, which is a coffee shop in Eagle. So cute. Off of Highway 55. And anyway, I got a sweet clove latte, and it is delicious. And I got Sam
a huckleberry white mocha.
So what'd you think?
It tastes like huckleberry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like huckleberry?
I do. I love huckleberry.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily a mocha fan. So I was like, I'm not sure if I would like it, but it sounded delicious.
It is good. I mean, it honestly tastes like chocolate covered huckleberry.
Yeah. So shout out to Coffee and Supply Company in Eagle, and very good coffee. Cute little shop. They have little decor stuff in there that you can purchase, a little sundry off shop, I think is what they call it. In fact, I got this little Hello Beautiful that was there this morning. I thought, what a perfect little thing to see on our first day of our podcast, being that our name is Unfiltered Beauty, and beauty in all things, not just the beauty industry, but beauty in life and all things. So yeah, there's my little shout out to them. Yeah.
And we came up with Unfiltered Beauty just because we want to be, unfiltered in every aspect of our lives, to share with you and to have you get to know us outside of work. At work, we're professional for the most part. It's going to be fun to be our complete selves and show you our relationship and just to talk about everything other than work. So,
and unfiltered in the beauty industry standards as well. Like everything has a filter on it. Usually, I guess I shouldn't say everything, but most things have a filter on it of some sort.
Yeah.
And then beauty, like I was saying, beauty in the beauty industry, beauty in our lives, beauty in everything that we have. And I think it was a cool name. Sam came up with it. And then we got our fun little sign. So I'm excited.
Yeah. It's real.
It's real.
It's real now.
When I walked in the room and I saw the sign, I was like, okay, and we're
It's
doing
happening.
this. And we're doing it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we've talked about ourselves. We talked about our friendship from work and how we hang out outside of work and what we do.
Yeah.
What other things do we want to mention today? Let's see.
Are you from Eagle?
I'm not. I was born in eastern Idaho, Rexburg, Idaho, a little town that's now grown a lot since the college came to play in there.
Yeah.
But I lived there until I was about 7, and then we moved to Boise. And then I've lived in Boise, and then we moved to Eagle. I think this is so my youngest was just born. So we're almost 12 years in Eagle now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it? It's grown a lot in
Oh, my
Eagle.
word. If you haven't been to Eagle recently, and it's been a while, it is like it's crazy. We have traffic in Eagle. We used to never
Yeah.
have traffic. I do love it. And I used to not really like that it was kind of on the outskirts, not necessarily, but now that everything's growing so much, it feels like everything's kind of
Yeah.
combined anyway. But one thing I love about Eagle, especially where I live, because I live off of Highway 55, I can just head up to the mountains and we'll take drives up there just for the day, or I go up to the river. I love to be outside. There's a spot off of the river that we found that's kind of like my little hangout spot. And I love that access from Eagle to do that.
Yeah.
But as far as how much it's growing, I'm not a lover of that.
Yeah.
Some people might like it. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
It's like crazy
I
growing
know.
so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Eagle. How about you?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
San Jose, California. Born and raised.
California people.
I know. Sorry.
But she's been here a while.
Yes, I was one of the people who were forced to come here because my parents moved here. My mom and my stepdad moved to Idaho in 2003. So I was still in high school. I actually stayed back and finished high school with my dad. But now both of my parents are here. My stepdad's here. I have a sister here. My grandma lived here before she passed away. My nephew's here. So we kind of all came
Migrated over here.
Yeah, we did. We saw that it was amazing. When I was in high school, it was not so amazing, but I also thought that California was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I tried to, I knew I wanted to do nursing, but it was hard to get into nursing school in California. It was impacted.
Oh, really?
There was a 2-year wait list.
More so than like Idaho or any other.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I did some undergrad in California, and then I decided to move over to Idaho because my mom lived here, so I would get in-state tuition. And so I got into Boise State and I got into nursing school. And then that kind of just transitioned into working here. And I met my husband in college. And we got engaged in my last semester or so of nursing school. And so once I got my first job at St. Luke's, we just decided to stay, especially because it's hard to get a job as a new grad nurse. They want experience, or even like the new grad programs are very hard to get into.
Do you think it's the same now, or
I think
a
so.
little easier?
Yeah, I would
You think
say
it's the same?
I would say it's still pretty hard, especially knowing, I lived in Hawaii for a while, and I did have experience when we moved to Hawaii. So it was fairly easy for me to get a job there. But I mean, I worked on a floor that had legit nurses, like graduated nurses, working as CNAs because they couldn't get a new grad job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so a lot of times people would move to other states from Hawaii, get experience, and then move back.
Just so they can get the jobs they wanted there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I didn't realize that.
I was very fortunate to get a new grad job at St. Luke's, and they did a great job, orienting you. In fact, one of the floors that I oriented to as a new grad, it was Dr. John's floor. So I spent a lot of time on that floor.
And for those of you that might not know, Dr. John worked at St. Luke's. I can't remember how long, 6 years? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I have to ask him. But anyway, he worked there for quite a while. And so backstory is McCrae Dental is Lon McCrae, the dentist, Dr. Lon McCrae, is Dr. John's uncle. And so McCrae Dental was a spot that had been there for a little while. And then Dr. John, wanting to come out of the nursing, out of the hospital, and wanting to do his own practice, then joined McCrae Dental. So sometimes it can be confusing because people come that haven't been to our office yet, and we share a building with McCrae Dental. Our sign and our name is on there, but it's still, you can kind of get a little confused. But anyway, so if anybody's curious and maybe didn't already know that, his uncle is the dentist there at the location, which I always call it the one-stop shop because
seriously,
you're there and we'll have people pop over. Like, unfortunately, I wasn't there the other day, but there was a gal that wanted a hydrofacial. People that come in for some talks or, I didn't know, what do you guys have? And so I think that makes it really nice. And then once they start figuring that out, then they become a patient of both of ours, which is very convenient.
Yeah. And it's fun too. I mean, to have the dental side, working with them, the hygienists and the assistants and everyone.
So not only is it, for Mountain West, yes, it's just her and I and Dr. John. We're a 3-man team, but have, like she said, McCrae Dental's there with their, I don't know how many people they have, 15, 18? Something like
grown.
That.
It's grown and we've shrunk.
Yeah, it's true. So we're intermingling with everybody throughout the day, and that does make it really fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And eventually we've been talking about getting our own little location and having our own spot, and I'll miss that. I'll miss that interaction with
It'll be a little
the team.
Quieter.
Not with her around, but yeah, it would be a lot quieter because there's so many of them and they're all fun. If you need a dentist, or if you already have a dentist and you are looking for something else, or maybe you didn't even know you were looking for something else, go to McCrae Dental. You would love it.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Not because I work there or in that office. It's true. He's my dentist. He was yours.
He was my dentist
before I started at Mountain West.
Yeah.
So anyway, he is great. They have also Dr. Hyde and Dr. McCullough that have recently, Hyde's been there a little while. Dr. McCullough's recent. And then just everybody there. Like, we got together not too long ago and did a big dinner at Yard House. And whoever could come came.
Was it dinner or was it drinks?
It was mainly drinks with a little bit of food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what, like, we all enjoy each other. We all like each other. So anyway, if you're looking for a fun group at a dental office, that's it.
And you can get talks at the same time.
Yeah, and you can come see us. So win-win.
Win-win-win.
Win. Yeah. But yeah, I had forgotten when you were saying that he was your dentist. Dr. McCrae was your dentist. He was mine too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. So when Dr. John joined on to the office, they're both McCrae. So that was one of the reasons we came up with Dr. John.
Yeah.
As far as the differentiating the two. But anyway, yeah. So there's that little side story.
Yeah.
If you're wondering.
And it really is a great office. Anybody that I refer that comes over, they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why didn't I come here sooner?
It's true. Yeah. It's a fun group. It really, truly is. And they see children. My girls go there. They have been going there for years and years. Your children go there. And he does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. There's that side note. You're welcome, McCrae Dental.
I know. We'll get a check in the mail.
I'll look for that check in the mail. So what else? Let's see. We were kind of talking about funny things that have happened. So Dr. John will be starting, or actually has started, a podcast as well. And you can look for that.
Yeah.
And he's going to be talking with nurses, and they were talking, not will or are, but will be talking about funny and interesting things that have happened as a nurse or whatever they've dealt with. And I can only imagine I've heard some of them, but I can only imagine what everyone else can bring to the table, because he's going to have people come on and discuss that with them too, like visitors and stuff. So it made me think of one of the things for me. I have so many things, but one of them specifically that comes to mind was I've been doing hair laser. Gosh, I've been there, almost 8 years. I think I've been doing it for about 6 years at least. And the very first day, so we did training. I got certified. I'm a laser tech on that. And then the very first day that I ever did hair laser, I had it booked all day long because it was like everybody's coming in to get it done. And so literally from the start of the day to the end of the day, hair laser. Well, a lot of those were Brazilians. And so a lot of vaginas were seen during that time. And my mom happened to come over for a visit. She lives in Utah, and she came in for a visit, and she was at my house during the day. And so when I came home, she was already there. And she's out on my patio, and I go out, and she's like, "So how did it go?" Knowing that it was my first day of doing hair laser all day. Yeah. And I said, "I'm literally blinking, and all I see is vaginas." Like, I had seen so many more vaginas than I ever thought I'd ever seen in my life in one day. And now that's times 100.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've seen quite a
few. But you haven't seen mine yet.
No, I haven't.
I know, she's been begging me. I get it.
But a lot of the girls at the office, the dental side, I do have some hair laser treatments with them. And it's funny because not only like people that come in as new people that I don't ever know, of course they're a little intimidated, but people that I work with. And some are fine, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it. I want to do that. Thank goodness you do that." And the other ones are like, "Yeah, I don't know." And anyway, but once you get in there, and I've been telling this to Sam so I can see her vagina too, but once you get in there, it's so fast and quick. And I'm like not sitting there
staring.
I mean, I am in a way because I'm trying to, get the laser in the right area. Yeah. But I'm focusing on this one area. I'm not even thinking about anything else. And it goes so quickly. Like that one day, yes, I literally was blinking and could see vaginas all day. But now I couldn't say, whose vagina is in the lineup. I couldn't pick yours out. So if that's any consolation to you.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, but I don't know if it is.
She wants to do it.
I don't know yet.
But it was funny. I was just telling somebody yesterday because I have one of the dental employees coming in today for their first hair laser treatment. They're doing full body, and she's going back and forth on whether to do the Brazilian or not. And I was telling her that it's funny because some of the girls, not only at work, but in general, will come in and they'll like, "Let's just start with my bikini." And then their underwear is getting pulled in. It's like, I'm just here. Do you want to do it? Okay,
just take it off.
So then it just happens. Yeah. Because it's like, well, yeah, let's do this edge and let's do this edge. And then next thing you know, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's so quick and easy. So if that's something that you've been thinking about, do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
She wants to see it. Just do it.
I do. Just add it to my
her vagina brain.
Yeah, my vagina brain.
Her catalog.
That's what I was looking for. My vagina catalog. I'll just. But yeah, seriously,
it really is so convenient though, and for those of us who do waxing more often than not, I mean. Laser hair is just way better.
And people will come in and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I expected that to hurt more than the waxing." And it was so easy.
Like just thinking about getting waxed is like, I'm sweating.
Yes. And literally people are coming in and they're completely fine with it.
Yeah.
Break my nose here. My allergies. So yeah, anyway, if you've been thinking about it, you've been on the fence about it, come in and do it. You'll be so glad you did.
Yeah. I need to do more because I only did my armpits.
And what else?
That's it.
Oh, I thought we did something else.
No.
Okay. Yeah, and great results from it.
Yeah. So good.
Was it in the first time?
Yeah, I mean, like once we did it once, I mean, it was I didn't have to shave for a really long time. I couldn't even keep track.
No,
I
that's
didn't even
right.
have to shave for my second treatment. Like it was.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
didn't realize that there were hair there, but it was so thin that I couldn't see it.
Mhm.
And so there were these like long, thin, so thin hairs.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it works so well.
It does. I had hair laser done at the dermatology office that I worked at, so years ago. And about probably a year or two ago, I hadn't shaved for years. I had looked in this area and I noticed, and I guess I'm not looking at my armpits very often.
Yeah.
But anyway, I looked down and there was like 3 really long hairs, super thin. And that just tells you how long it had been. Like,
Yeah.
that they finally, but I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, how long have those puppies been there hanging
braid
out?
them.
Yeah, I could have probably braided them. Good thing I'm not walking around with my hands above my head all the time.
I know, right?
Or maybe I could have, for those who like hair under your arms, that's fine too. But if you don't, hair laser is the way to go. But anyway,
Seriously.
it really does work. And we'll maybe do another topic more on hair laser another time. But for people that I like to let people know, it's not always going to be permanent. I'm always leery when I hear of places say permanent hair removal.
Right.
Because there's so many things that can change that up.
Yeah. Especially around the face.
Hormonal areas.
Hormones.
For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway.
And just keeping in mind that you might have to have touch-ups later, years
Absolutely.
to come. You know, just keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah. We can touch more on that on another topic, hair laser. But yeah, so that's my funny story of seeing vaginas all day the very first day I ever did hair laser. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
I mean, I have so many penises and vaginas in my head from
The nursing. Not at Mountain West.
No.
Or is it Mountain West?
No.
Okay.
No. Very minimal vaginas I see just from the vaginal rejuvenation that we do. So if you have incontinence issues, vaginal dryness, that kind of stuff, we do that. But no, I just, And then being in Hawaii, I mean, so this is what I always say is when I was living in Hawaii, I just thought that it was the weirdest thing that they call pee, shishi, and poop, doo-doo. And so it just...
Like everyone calls it that?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah. And so being in the hospital, you would talk to these elderly patients and be like, do you need to go shishi? And
really?
I just feel like I'm talking to
a kid.
Yeah. I'm like, I just feel so ridiculous.
Is it weird? Do they even say pee?
I mean, they do, yeah, but it's more like common to say like shishi.
Where us would be pee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So pee and what?
Doo-doo.
Okay.
Doo-doo is for...
It does sound like you're talking to a little child.
Poop. Yeah. So I just thought that was the weirdest thing. And it made me so uncomfortable at first. But, you have to kind of adjust to your surroundings.
Sure.
And you have to, so.
Yeah.
It was weird.
What about at Mountain West? Does anything come to mind that... I feel like we're laughing our asses off all the time, no matter what. Just stupid stuff.
I mean, that one skit that we did with...
Oh my gosh.
Dr.
I know
John
exactly what you're talking about.
Wearing... Well, he was actually in my scrub top.
If you guys haven't seen it, go to either Sam or Mountain West Instagram.
Yes.
I videoed it. They did a video of switching out scrub outfits, actually, right? Pants too?
So basically, the skit was like, he's copying me and he's wearing figs. He's wearing like the same exact figs.
And isn't it a Kardashian clip?
It is.
Yeah.
It's the voice of the Kardashians. And so he's actually in my scrub top and he's in Dr. Lon McRae, the dentist's scrub pants.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like way too skinny so they would not fit him at all. But he was able to fit into Lon's scrub pants, but they were super short and still really small.
Yeah.
So,
You should go check that video. If you haven't seen it,
it was so funny.
Go check that out. It was hard to video.
Honestly, when
Because
Dr.
it's so
John walked in my scrub top and Lon McRae's pants, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I was crying. It was so funny. And he almost passed out trying to take off the
That's what I was
scrub
gonna
top.
say.
Yeah.
Side note is when he actually left after the filming, went to take it off, couldn't get it off, is what I heard.
He got stuck.
I wish we would have
Yeah.
taken a video of that.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
I
We
have
should
a little
have.
blooper that I'm saving for a rainy day.
Did you of that?
Of him walking around in the
Oh,
scrub
gosh.
outfit. And I mean, it was just so funny. His like belly's out, it's high water,
Yeah.
super tight and uncomfortable. And I just loved it.
That's hilarious.
It's hard to get Dr. John to do. I mean, he's pretty open and fun and willing to
Yes.
do skits, but he doesn't like to have to memorize anything. So
No.
we have to find clips that are
And- or
very
dance.
simple. Yeah, and he won't dance.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I think we're all okay with
Yeah,
that.
I think we're all okay with that. But that's like his two restrictions. Otherwise, yeah, you're right. He is so easygoing with things. He's really good. In fact, Sam and I talk about how we forget he's our boss sometimes because he's like a buddy. I always, before Sam came along and still, but I used to say this a lot. He's like, because I'm an only child, I always used to call him the brother I never wanted. And I really believe like that really fits how it is because that's how the relationship is with all of us. We're friends. And you can, I mean, we say whatever we want to say, probably too much. There's times I'm like, I probably should have said that.
There's
Or-
definitely times.
Yeah.
where it's
Or my
like,
husband,
"Oh."
James, is like, you said that to him? Oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But it's just a comfort thing. And I think we all are still respectful of him, of course. But
It's really hard for me to get him into my head as my boss
Mhm.
because I worked with him.
yeah,
like,
that's true.
we were
As a coworker.
coworkers.
Yeah, that's true.
And friends, I mean, like, we were Facebook friends or whatever. He was the one who told me to come to McRae Dental. And so it's just weird to like have that view of him
Mhm.
as my boss. But we really we talk like we're just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
It's really fun.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, probably sometimes we're like, maybe we shouldn't have said that to our boss.
Yeah.
But all right, we did. Okay, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it fun.
Yeah.
And comfortable.
Yeah.
We can literally talk about anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
Yes, and we do. He's very easygoing and a good sport when it comes to making fun of him,
Yeah.
which we do often. All right.
I mean, it's not very hard.
It's not hard. No. And on that note, one of our favorite things, so it's funny because John and I, when I started with John, it was just John and I, and we quickly found out that he and I are both Office fans, The Office, and we love The Office, and we can pretty much quote all of The Office episodes. Except for me, like the end ones, I didn't watch as much, I'll be honest. The first probably 5 seasons are my favorite.
Once Michael leaves, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it,
stay,
but not as much. But anyway, so we quickly found out that he and I are Office fans. So we would do Office trivia. We would name the lines of movies and blah blah blah. So then when Sam came on, I don't even know how it came about, but something came up with you in The Office, and we're like, oh, she likes The Office. This is it. We all can do it. And now our big thing, especially between you two, more that probably than anything, is the That's What She Said.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we thought about naming this That's What She Said, but somebody already took it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been perfect.
It really would have been perfect. It really would have been perfect.
Yeah, I mention this to Tony all the time. My husband is Tony. I ask him, hey, did you know that when you started dating me and you married me eventually that you would be watching The Office every night for the rest of your life? He's like, no.
Is he as big an Office fan as you?
He is not at all. And
yeah, that's my husband.
I'm not joking when I say I literally watch The Office every night to go to bed.
It's like your comfort show.
Since we've been dating, I mean, we've been together for 13 years now. Yeah, 13 years. And since the beginning, literally every night I go to bed to
It's your
The
comfort
Office.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Do you watch the same ones?
no, I start it from, I just like keep it going. I keep it going. And now we have the Peacock, the
Super fan.
Yeah, the Super Fans episodes. So
I love those. It's like watching new shows.
It is.
Yeah.
So I'll try and like watch some things occasionally, and it's hard because I like to watch the Superfans episodes because I've never seen some of those
So
clips
you can't
before.
fall asleep to those as easily as you can.
But
that's how I am.
I still just watch the whole thing. So
So yeah, that's definitely a thing around our office, and we say it in front of everyone when things come up. So that's probably our most inappropriate part about it. Anything that comes up, that's what she said.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nice that we have something in common.
Yes.
And I mean, I can't joke about it with my husband. So it's nice to come to work and joke.
So James, my husband, is not as big a fan as I am, but he does like it. Just, again, not as much as I do. But it's funny, like when I'm watching an episode that I've clearly watched a million times, he'll come down and he'll say, "You've seen this episode." And I always say, "I've never seen this episode. This is new. I've never seen this one." And it's a thing that we say. He's like, "Oh my gosh.
You silly goose.
You silly goose." I've never seen, I don't know. I've never seen this episode.
Yeah.
This is new.
Yeah. I like quoting it. Like, I know what he's going to say or she's going to say or whatever. And I just quote it.
Me too.
He's like, he just rolls his eyes like, okay.
Or my thing is I literally will still laugh at everything that I already know is going to happen or be said.
Yeah.
And it still makes me laugh probably the same or if not more sometimes than it did when I first saw it. Mm-hmm. And he'll say that, "You've seen this." And then, of course, my answer is, "No, I've never seen this episode." But it makes me laugh. It's just hilarious.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the best.
So I hope you're super fan or Office fans too.
Yeah. We'll get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll still like you if you don't, but you're just, a little cooler if you do.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's funny too, because you either like The Office or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had anybody be like, well, I mean, I guess I was just kind of saying that about my husband, but I know he likes it. He just doesn't watch it as much as I do.
Yeah.
But I think people are more like, I don't really think it's funny.
Yeah. My husband doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess I didn't marry you for your sense of humor
Obviously.
But it's just funny. I would have thought that by now he'd be a fan of it after having to watch it for 13 years, but no.
Does he ever laugh at it?
No, he never watches it.
Tony.
Honestly, he doesn't watch it.
That's so funny.
He's not a big TV person. So, like, we actually have to coordinate and make time for us to like watch a movie or show because I love to sleep, and so I go to bed before he does and I sleep in later than he does, and so it's just hard to stay up. And he is one of those people who's like, what just happened, or what does that mean, or what's going on? And I'm like, watch the movie. Like, why are you talking? You're
watching
right
the
now?
same thing as I am right
now.
Like, that's kind of how. I think just because of life and being busy, it's very hard to. And that's another reason I like The Office and other I watch the same shows all the time. I'll be honest, I do. But it's because it's on and it's easy, and I'm not missing out on things.
Yeah.
So to watch something new is it's hard to sit down with kids and life and this and that. And
be engaged and know what's happening.
Yes. We've been trying to watch Breaking Bad for years.
Yeah.
I don't even know what season we're on. And every once in a while we'll oh, let's pull that up. So, I mean, that's how far behind we are. But I do like the show. It's just hard to sit and especially when there's two of us. Because if I wanted to do it in between, that'd be one thing. But then he's like, you watch that without me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's given up on that. I watch shows without him all the time. And I'm like, you should watch this show. And he's like, girl, I can't watch a show. Yeah. He's not into that. So.
Yeah. I think my husband's favorite thing is YouTube. That's what he watches the most of.
Yeah.
Videos, podcasts, stuff like that.
I think my husband too. He mostly watches YouTube to get the answers of every little thing.
Yeah,
if
that's what
he's
we do.
focused on something,
Mhm.
then he learns all about it
Yeah,
and focuses
oh
on
my gosh,
it.
that is so
Yeah.
James. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I think
definitely
it's a
him.
guy thing
It
too.
must be, because that is totally. We're like, for example, we just got a puppy. We got a puppy on Thursday. No, excuse me, Friday. So we're in puppy mode right now.
You tired?
Yeah, actually, it's my husband. Honestly, he's been the one getting up with her. But anyway, like anything that comes up about it or her particular breed, he's like, pull that up. Let's look that up and see,
Yeah.
and that's just a little example of all of it he utilizes that for. But maybe it is a guy thing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think to watch YouTube to look up things.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't.
No.
I don't really
I
watch
just
YouTube at all.
Google it on my phone or Alexa. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Do you have Alexa?
We do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you utilize it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
No.
I utilize the crap out of it.
No. The girls like to say, Alexa, play blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll dance or play The Floor is Lava or
Mhm.
something. But yeah, they like to.
Oh, I talk to her
use
all the
it.
time.
Yeah.
Like, what's the weather tomorrow? Or just whatever. And then I'll find myself like in the car wanting to ask her something. And obviously she's not in the car with me. But that's how often I
Yeah.
utilize it.
Yeah.
My husband and my son picked out the Alexa Show, which is like a screen that's probably like this big.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in our kitchen. And I love it because of recipes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I can pull stuff up. And what's funny, and I have to turn it off sometimes, but if you're walking, it'll move so that you can continue to like look at your recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll move with you. So that's sometimes weird and sometimes not.
Yeah.
So you can turn that off. And you can turn, like with kids at home, I could pop in from my phone and scan at it.
Oh, okay.
And it'll show me, like it'll scan the area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually really nice. And then we have the little ones, and I think we have 4 of them. We like utilize it all over the place.
We have one in our kitchen, and we play music mostly on it. That's it.
And that whole is Alexa listening? Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Alexa is listening.
Yes, constantly, especially when you have them in every room, like pretty much we do.
She hears me yell a lot, so
like, oh shit, she's doing that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, mom's home. Okay. What else? Anything else that we can touch base with right now? Let's see.
What is your favorite treatment that we do?
Microneedling. I always say it, and I feel like people are probably tired of hearing it, but it's so true. I love microneedling. I love to have it done. I do it to myself, and I love to do it to people because I think it's just one of those treatments that is so beneficial for such a little quick appointment, little to no downtime.
Yeah.
It can be a little
spicy.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
when we do it, but not terrible. I've never had anybody stop and say, I can't do this or not come back because of it. So it's easy as far as that goes. Treatment wise, we put some numbing cream on you. You're done within 30 minutes. You can add your neck if you want, or I've been doing my hands recently. In fact, I need to do them again. But anything that you're wanting to like build collagen in. And a few of us were talking at work the other day about how you can, I feel like I can kind of tell when I'm due for a microneedling. Like my skin just kind of feels a little dull. And you do that and
You glow.
you do. Your skin, your texture, your skin looks healthier. Yeah, for sure. And then I have a few diehard patients that come in and they're doing it all the time. And it shows. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great for maintenance if you've done like a really big treatment and you want to keep that collagen going. That's a great, there's just so many benefits from it.
Yeah. What I like to tell patients is like, it's a really good maintenance treatment. So it just depends on your goals. How aggressive do you want to be?
Right.
Because you're losing collagen, as you age.
Yeah.
And so do you want to keep up with it? Do you want to get in front of it? Do you want to just maintain? What is your goal?
Right.
So microneedling is a good one to, like you said, to do after big treatments. Like if you really want to be aggressive in your collagen stimulation,
Try something more aggressive
do something
first.
really aggressive and then maintain with microneedling, but you always have to do something. Like I
Yes.
encourage everyone to just, as you age, 30s, start doing collagen boosting treatments
Yes.
and
Or
maintain
younger,
it.
honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like doing it in your late 20s, mid 20s is a good idea as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Not necessarily because you're needing the collagen at that point, but just because of the um, benefits it does to your skin, and then getting in that routine too. I think like when I worked in dermatology prior to that, I didn't really take care of my skin. I didn't, and to be honest, I've never really had acne issues. I've never had issues, so it just came easy to me not to have to think about it. I'm sure people that dealt with acne as a teenager or adult acne, you're thinking of it more. You're more conscious of it. So you're probably buying the products. You're thinking about how can I fix that. So when you don't, I mean, I'll be honest, it was easy. Like I'd go to bed with makeup on in my 20s, and not think about things. And when I started working in derm and then seeing like with the effects that not taking care of your skin does, and then B, like sunscreen. I mean, yeah, here and there sunscreen, but not like now I'm like sunscreen. Yeah, sunscreen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But seeing in derm like people with the skin cancers and that come up that you're not even like considering. Like for men, huge on the head and ears, nose, women because they're tanning in the tanning booth, things like that. And just not wearing the sunscreen and protecting yourself. So anyway, that kind of changed my whole aspect of that. So I think if you can get into the idea of taking care of your obviously self, but then skin is part of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And when I was in high school, I worked at a tanning salon. So,
oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I tanned a couple times in the booth when I was younger.
A lot. I mean, I would tan for free.
Yeah.
I would tan all my friends for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and growing up in California, the weather and just being out in the sun so much, I didn't really think about it. And then now I'm just, even driving in my car, I'm like, okay, where's my sun visor?
Yeah.
I gotta protect my face, the side of my face and my hands. Where are my hands?
Yeah, hands are a huge one in the car. And then always your left side of your face is always going to have more sun damage because it's your driving side, things like that you don't think about. And I always tell my girls, you're going to thank me when you're older, girls, because I have them already. In fact, it's probably more of like created monsters a little bit too, because they're so into skincare and they're thinking of it now and they're 15 and
but they're going to thank you later for sure,
But then it becomes, I'll get a text. Mom, can you bring me some product? I'm out of this. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys. It's not cheap.
Right?
Yeah. So,
I know.
Anyways, but yeah.
But it's worth it,
Yeah.
And consistently wearing sunscreen is going to help. I mean, if you're doing these treatments, if you're doing microneedling and all that stuff, it's like almost wasting it if you're not doing sunscreen and using good products for your skin and protecting your skin.
Excuse me. So true. I will talk about that all the time. Like if you're coming in here and you're spending the time and the money, take care of it in between.
Yeah. It truly is an investment.
Oh, gosh.
Your skin is truly an investment.
For sure.
And a lot of times people don't realize that until it's too late. And then they have to like really be aggressive and they have to have all this downtime because they have to reverse so much damage that could have easily been prevented.
Yeah. Or we even have those people that'll come and spend the money and the time and do a treatment, maybe go on a trip, not take care of their skin, not being cautious of it. And maybe just not being aware of it, and then coming back and being like, I didn't really notice a difference, or actually I have more spots. Well, that's probably why. So thinking of those kind of things and maintaining it and taking care of your skin is so important. And I try and harp on that a lot when we're doing treatments, like be cautious of it. Reapply a sunscreen.
Yeah.
I cannot say that enough. Reapplying your sunscreen, especially after a treatment, is so important to keep that because your skin's so sensitive to the sun. So yeah, the first thing it's going to do is be baby skin. That's what I call it all the time, baby skin. When you have your baby skin sitting out in the sun, then it's going to get some damage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that's what I love most about doing this job now is that we know so much now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like I have better skin now than I did in my 20s.
Oh, I know I did.
Just like
Yeah.
everything I
Or
do for
do.
my skin,
Yeah.
you know, I know that it's going to be beneficial
Yeah.
later.
And being cautious of it. And that's not to say there hasn't been a couple of times I haven't gone to bed without taking my makeup off. I will be honest. I've done it a couple of times. But I used to do it all the time before, where now I'm like really, really conscious of going in there and doing it. And I'm not a 12-step person. I don't like a lot of steps. I don't like a lot of products. I have my go-to. When people come in and ask my opinion on that, that's my go-to, is just having your main things, which is always cleanser, a serum, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen. To me, those are my main ones. Some people will add retinol in there. That's another good one. For me, it's too much. I have sensitive skin to it. I don't like it. I would love the effects that it would give me because it is great, but to me, it's just something that I don't add.
Yeah.
But to me, that I think those are like your go-to. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do have a little bit more.
Okay. So she's one of those.
One of those.
She's one of those.
But it's because, I did live in Hawaii. I did live in California. I did go in the tanning beds, so I do have
What's your ethnicity?
I am half Mexican, half white.
Me too.
So, yeah.
So we have a little bit of that tan going on.
Yes. So I tan really easy, but, I still have sun damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do use something for pigment. And then I do use retinol.
Mm-hmm.
And I use 2 different retinols. I use one for my eyes.
2 different retinols.
I know. Because honestly, my eyes were the biggest thing for me when I first started working and I knew I wanted to try Botox. I was like, okay, what do I need? And my eyes were the first thing that
bothered
me.
Mm-hmm.
My smile lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then,
What about your lazy eye? Or your cross eye? Did those bother you?
Only when I look at you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I use a retinol for my eyes, and then I use a retinol for my face.
Mm-hmm.
And my sun damage has significantly...
You've seen a difference.
Yes, big time.
And that's what I mean by feeling like my skin's better now than ever, because I am being more cautious of the things I put on it, where before I was just not doing really anything. And so, and that's, I think we all, you, myself, and Dr. John do at the office, is we're not going to like boss you and tell you this is how, and there are people out there that do that you should be using, and only this product, and only this medical grade one, and only this, I feel like we're all pretty good about what works for you. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of clients come in that don't use medical grade wash, like a cleanser. They use a CeraVe. That's fine. In derm, CeraVe is a huge one that people use. And it's because it doesn't have a lot of extra ingredients, which is great. It's fine. But if you're looking for things to help build like the epidermis and the cellular level, then medical grade skin cleanser is the way to go. So there's just, it's like, what works for you? What works for your budget? That's another huge one. I mean, things can get freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Super expensive, especially, I mean, and everything right now, right? But especially when it comes to product. So we have the things we sell are Skin Better, Epicutis, Elta MD, and Image.
Yes.
So those are the 4 that we have available. And then we've picked what we like. I mean, obviously there's 1,000 things probably in each one of those lines, but we've picked ones that we've tried, liked, and saw benefit from. Like, I've literally tried almost all of that, except for maybe the retinol stuff. And I did try some of the retinol for the Skin Better, and but I was a little too sensitive. But anyway, we have personally tried that. We've picked the things that we think are going to be beneficial for you, and price-wise. So there might be something maybe a little more expensive in this line, a little less in this line. If that's important to you. Like, we will try and find the best for you.
Right. And we discuss with you, what's the most important thing. Like, if you can only have one expensive medical grade product, we want to find that product for you so that you're at least getting that benefit for whatever your main issue is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we like to work with patients.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
So if you're ever hesitant, like, oh, I can't afford, this skincare product, we love to work with patients.
And give you samples.
Yeah, we want to help.
We go through a lot of samples. And I think that's a good thing, though, because you're getting the opportunity to try it, or maybe it's not in your budget right now. Let's give you a couple of these to get by until you can get your, your full-size product.
Mm-hmm.
But we're definitely, and if you've been like, I don't want to go in somewhere, even though the consults are free. If you don't already know that, there's a free consultation to come into our office and meet with any of us.
Yes.
But maybe I don't want to go, you're feeling like, I don't want to go in there because I don't want to tell me everything that's wrong with me and I can't afford that. We're not going to sit there and tell you everything that's wrong with you. To us, you're going to be beautiful. To us,
oh, yeah.
We might not even see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we always say we're our own worst critic for sure. Like, there's so much on me that I look up and I'm like, ugh. And other people are like, your skin's so beautiful, this or that. So anyway, we would never do that.
I think, yeah.
It's more like you said, like, what are your concerns?
A lot of times patients come in and they're like, well, what do you think I should do?
Yeah.
And, there are some injectors out there that might tell them, what they should do.
Yeah, and that's
what
fine.
They think.
That's what you would really.
But for me, I like to say, well, I mean, it's your face. You're going to look at it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me what your concerns are, because I'm not going to go and sit there and nitpick on something that you might not have noticed.
Yes.
And now that's all you can notice. Mm-hmm. So I'm not that kind of person. I want to know what concerns you, what you see, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
And so don't think that you're going to come in and I'm going to just lay out, what you should do. We're going to come up with a plan together and find the best treatments for you. We're going to find the best products for you. We're going to work with you.
In your budget.
Yes. And so we'll come up with the plan. And I think patients really appreciate that because they don't want to know what's wrong with them. They may think that they want to know, but they don't want to know.
Nobody wants to hear all that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I hear most of all when people are done with a consult or even maybe a treatment, they were doing something else and got some information on some different thing that they were questioning, is the honesty, like coming back and they're like, I appreciated that honesty of, you really don't, even though your concerns your eyes, I don't think you should spend the money on that, or whatever, whatever the situation is. And then, like you were saying, the plan, I think it's nice for people to walk away with that. Like, and that's what we'll do too, is give you like, okay, you want to work on building collagen. Well, let's start with X, Y, or Z. Yeah. You can't afford this yet, so maybe let's try this. And then after a couple of months, we'll do this. And then you kind of literally have that plan, as well as skincare. If you're going to be doing this, then let's give you a little bit of, whatever it is, serum to continue with that. Or you don't have that in your skincare routine, let's add that kind of thing. So anyway, you walk away with an idea.
Yeah.
And then what you do with it's up to you. But at least you have an idea, and cost. That's the other thing everybody's concerned about, which I get. Like, how much is that going to cost? We'll tell you how much it's going to cost. It's all right there for you. So I think that makes it really nice. And I hear that a lot, is people are happy about that.
Yeah. And I think you'd be surprised what we can do with certain budgets.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do some good treatments in any real budget. So coming up with a plan is so essential, and just actually knowing. I mean, you'll never know unless you go and talk to one of us and figure out a good plan for you.
And even if you just came in for the consultation and decided not to do anything, that's fine too. But at least, again, like just coming in and then some people I feel like come in just to get to know us a little bit better. I've had people say, I've been to such and such office. I wanted to come see you guys and see what feels better. And that literally is a thing.
Yeah.
I know that's a thing for me.
It is.
Like, if you walk into a place that looks gorgeous and beautiful and price is all right, but the people don't feel right, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna, make you not maybe want to come in.
Yeah.
Or continue there. So.
And I think that's why we like to show ourselves on Instagram so much and our personalities and our relationships because, that's what I look for when I go and get a service or, anything done. I want to check them out first. What are they like?
And some people might like that more professional. And not that we're not, but, some people might like that more professional where it's just this and straight to business and then we're in and out of here. And other people might like to have a little bit more fun and have a little more relaxed vibe and atmosphere. But like you said, like even for myself scrolling on Instagram or checking out different things, there's a couple places I've come across that I've been like, I think I'd like to go there. Yeah. They seem fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully you feel the same way when you see us, but when you actually come in, I hope you feel the same way.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't scare you off.
Yeah. Like my big thing since I started with Mountain West is I've always, like my little motto for myself is I want you to leave feeling like you left visiting with a friend. And I feel like most of the time people do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming in and telling us all the things and laying that out there. And sometimes you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Let's listen to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that everybody leaves that way, feeling like that.
I love that. Yeah.
So the treatments I do at Mountain West are laser hair removal, microneedling, Opus Plasma, which is a plasma energy for skin resurfacing, if you're not familiar with that. Broadband light, which is nicknamed BBL, which some people confuse with Brazilian butt lifts. We don't do Brazilian butt lifts. I literally had so many people message me, you guys do BBLs? Thinking that it's Brazilian butt lifts. We don't. But we do the BBL that is broadband light, which is a light therapy. So that's also skin resurfacing, pigment, collagen building.
Acne, rosacea.
Yes, inflammation. Dermaplaning and hydrofacials. Those are the treatments I do. So I do all of pretty much the skin treatments other than the CO2 laser, which is the most intense skin resurfacing that we do at the office. And that's done by Dr. John.
Yes.
But other than that, those are the ones that I do. And the ones that I personally do on myself, I've done all, except I haven't done a full treatment of broadband light. I've only done a little bit of training on it. We did little pieces of it, but I've done them all on myself. Yeah. Other than, I haven't done dermaplaning on myself. Yeah, I have. Yeah. I've done them all.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the ones that I personally do at the office.
Okay.
What do you do?
So I do talks, of course, Botox. We carry 5 different brands. So
which ones? Remind me all the ones. I always forget.
Botox, Jeuveau, which is also called Nutox. We have Xeomin, Daxify, and Dysport. So those are the 5 brands that we carry.
Daxify. That's the one I always forget.
Yes, Daxify. That's the newest one. I do filler. So any type of filler that you would like, we do that. I do Radiesse and Sculptra, which is biostimulator. I can also use them for certain filler areas. I do PRF. That's a big one. So platelet-rich fibrin. I do hair restoration or under eyes. I can use PRF for your face, just like Radiesse and Sculptra. And we also do PRP. So it's similar to PRF, but a little bit different. Not as natural, but I can do that for breast lifts and vaginal rejuvenation, things like that. Let's see. I also do microneedling and BBLs. I mostly do those on the weekends, though, when stuff's not at work. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I assist Dr. John with beauty fills, which is our liposuction, which is one of my favorite things that we do. It's really fun. So, and just assisting Dr. John with his stuff that he likes to do.
Yeah. So I am there Monday through Thursday, and that is our regular schedule at the office for all of us is Monday. Well, Monday through Thursday. Mondays, I typically assist Dr. John with all the things he needs, and he needs so much.
Yes.
And then if I can, I'll occasionally do a Monday for people that need it, but usually it's just assisting Dr. John on Monday. And then Tuesday through Thursday is my actual schedule. And our times are a little different. Some people have called at like 4:00 on a day that we close at 2 or 3. So we do have different hours. So always double check with that. But Sam and I are really good about coming in when we need to, if necessary, and making time
Yes.
to come in. Like she's really good about coming later at even afternoon or excuse me, late afternoon or evenings for some people that need that. And then we will do a Friday or a Saturday, or I'll stay late some days. We have our children, so we try to work around that as much as we can. But if there's any times that are a little off of our schedule and that works better for you, please let us know, because we can always.
Yeah. It never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't mind coming in. I live so close to the office, and I like having, the flexibility to come in when you need it. I'm really flexible, so I don't mind coming in evenings. I do a lot of Friday evenings for patients, especially for like bigger procedures like PRF or microneedling, so that they have the weekend to recover and then they're back to work on Monday. I do that often, and then a lot of times I pick up Saturdays as well, just because I know that it's hard to get in on the weekdays. I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, I'm there taking my kids to school and picking them up from the bus, but I am also very happy to come in off hours to help you out. So
Yeah, we try to make it work. So hopefully that works out for you too. And I think for the most part, we've pretty much been able to make it work between the two of us for whatever people need.
I get messages a lot like, hey, when's your next Friday? Or when's your next evening? When's your next Saturday?
Speaking of that, on Instagram, I have a lot of people that will message me anyway. But if you don't know, please always message us. We're really good about getting back to those messages.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a question about a treatment, or like she said, a day that you're looking for that maybe we don't normally work, or whatever it is, feel free to message us. We're good about really getting back to that. So, and checking those.
Yeah.
So I think this was a great first podcast. What do you think?
I think so too.
Mm-hmm. I just pretended like the cameras weren't here, but talking to her is easy. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
A little too much sometimes, but
yeah.
But I think it went well.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting more comfortable with it, coming up with ideas. One thing that, and I was going to put it on our Instagram too, is if you have an idea that you want us to talk about, something that you've been thinking about or questioning or scared of or whatever it is, or a personal question, let us know. Send us in a message or whatever, and let us know.
We'd
and we will
be happy to talk about it.
We need topics anyway, so be perfect. But I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more comfortable and talking more, and hopefully getting more people that are engaging with us and that can appreciate what we're doing our podcast on. I don't think there's a lot of it, especially locally, where we're talking about the healthcare, or excuse me, the beauty industry, health kind of industry on things like that. Like I said, especially locally. So hopefully people can benefit from that, and we'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're excited to get going.
Yeah.
Good job, Sam.
Good job.
Good job.
Pat on the back.
Pat on the back to you.